Hello everyone, this is just a quick screencast on how to record your own screen for free on a Windows machine, or actually any of them, but I only recommend this for Windows. This is called OBS Studio, Open Broadcast Software, and it's OBS Studio. It is completely free, it's open source, it's wonderful. You can download it at obsproject.com. Click on whatever one you're doing. Again, if you're a Mac person, QuickTime is much easier and simpler and honestly probably better, but Windows and Linux, OBS Studio is the way to go. Click it, download it, install it. Once you get it up and running, it will look something like this. Ooh, that's kind of freaky looking because I'm recording at the same time. So I'm going to walk you through how to set it up. Now, I can't actually do it because I'm currently using it to record, but such is life. So what you're going to have to do is you're not going to have any of the scenes or sources already set up, so you have to create a new scene. You're going to hit the plus, give it a name, you might call it scene 2 or screencast 2 or whatever, and then once you hit OK, you'll get a scene down here. I'm not going to do that because it makes the video black because it chooses that one, if that makes any sense. So once you do, it'll show up here. You won't have any sources, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hit plus and choose your source. I highly recommend display capture. That's the one that's going to actually capture your display. And once you hit that, let me go ahead and click it. You're not going to have any existing, so you're going to create a new, call it display capture, and then you pick what it does. I'm going to choose my primary monitor. I have two, but I'm going to use the first one. And make sure that you have capture cursor selected. You want to make sure that that is selected because that way it captures your cursor. If you uncheck it, look up here, my cursor is not there. I want to see the cursors whenever you're doing a screencast. It makes it a lot easier for your audience. You would hit OK. Again, I'm not going to. You would. So for display capture 2, I'm just going to remove that because I don't want it. I just want display capture. Over here on the side, you have the audio sliders. The desktop audio is just the sounds that your computer's making, so you can turn that up or down as you see fit. Mic audio is just obviously what it sounds like, your mic. I just went to Walmart and bought a $15 Logitech USB plug-and-play mic thing. The audio quality is obviously not perfect, but it gets the job done for what I'm wanting to do, and I've used this thing hundreds of times. Don't worry about scene transitions. Once you're ready to record, right here, this won't say stop recording, this will say start recording. So you can hit that to record. In the settings, we have a couple interesting options, but really all we're interested in is output. What you want to do is down here, this is grayed out because I'm currently recording, but when you're not, you'll be able to choose. This right here is, you can hit browse and choose where to save your files. I have mine currently saving to desktop, Teaching Coker, EDLS 525, and Screencast because that's where I want them to go. Recording quality, I highly recommend that you leave it on high quality medium file size because the quality is really good. It's not HD, but it's really good for what we're wanting, and it keeps the file sizes manageable. The recording format, I highly recommend you leave it as FLV. Now, that does require an extra step, but it will save you a lot of time and heartache and frustration in the long run. FLV does not play on YouTube, so you'll have to convert it, but that literally takes 2 seconds. So leave it as FLV, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then once you're done, just hit OK, hit start recording, and you're ready to record. If you have two monitors, you can take this window and drag it onto the second one, and you'll notice all y'all see is this first one, but I can look over to the right and see what I'm recording. That way you can keep an eye on it. If it suddenly goes black, you'll think, oh man, I need to fix something because it's not recording the video. Exactly what you see here is what will be on the video recording. Once you have your video recorded in FLV format, you have to do what's called remuxing to fix it, to change it into something else. In order to do that, is very simple. You open OBS, you hit File, Remux Recordings. It'll ask you what file you want to remux. So browse to Screencast. I've got a few in here. I'm not sure which one is correct, so I'm just going to open it up. Coker 525 Screencast. Not sure which one is which. This is the big one. I look at the file size, so that's more than likely the correct one. Yep, that's it. I know it is, but if I wasn't sure, I could just hit play and fast forward. All that jazz. So I know that's the right one. I'm going to call it 525 Screencast 1. Now notice these are all FLVs. I was able to get it to play because I have VLC player installed, However, YouTube won't accept that, so we have to do what's called remuxing. To do that, File, Remux Recordings, Browse, navigate to your folder like we did, choose it, pick what you want it to remux to. By default, it should choose MP4, which is what we want. If it doesn't, you can change that in the settings. But MP4 is what we want. That's what YouTube will accept. You hit remux, done. You're good to go. And if I open up, oops, not USC. If I open up the Coker file, go to my screencasts, right here, it's an MP4. Able to be played by MP4 by Windows Media Player, and it's also able to be uploaded to YouTube. Now notice these are only 12 megabyte files. These are very small file sizes as it comes to videos. So that's why I wanted you to use the small one. If we had chosen higher resolution like lossless, we'd be up into the 10-15 gigabytes by now. So choose the quality option. Anyway, as to why we would want to save it as FLV and then convert it to MP4 instead of just straight recording it as MP4, FLV allows you to recover your videos if they crash. If something bad happens while you're recording and you lose the ability to record it, you get to save whatever you've already recorded. It's a playable file. MP4, however, if it's not completed, if it doesn't complete the actual recording process, it's gone. So let's say you're recording for 10-15 minutes and then power goes out, or the dog jumps up and kicks your computer over or something. That's all gone. You can't get that back. But if it's an FLV and that happens, it's still saved and you can just pick up where you left off. And it only takes, like you saw, 3 seconds to convert it over. So that was how to record a screencast on a Windows machine. If you have an Apple machine like a MacBook or MacBook Pro, iMac, something like that, there's an easier and quicker way to do it, and I would recommend watching the other video to do that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Thanks.